In this video, Risk Management Settings in GridX for MT5. The settings that helps you control drawdowns and accounts protection. Grid systems and martingale are often criticized because of their accessing risk of blowing accounts. While risk controls do not guarantee complete safety, they can help manage maximum losses and drawdowns, and they can save your account in adverse market conditions. The first and maybe most important setting is max loss. Max loss is expressed as a percentage of your account balance. When the floating loss of all GridX positions reaches this threshold, GridX closes all positions to protect the account from further losses. For example, a max loss of 5 means up to 5% of balance can be lost on that cycle before the EA exits. Depending on your situation, you may want to use small max losses under 10%, knowing you will cut losing baskets quickly and realize more frequent losses. On the other side, you may set max loss high at 50% or more, giving the EA more room to recover losing baskets, being aware a more significant loss is possible. Next is cool off at max loss. This setting is linked to the previous setting. Max loss, the cool off period, which is in minutes, will force the EA to pause new basket creation until this time has passed. This setting is very useful because it will give you some time to reevaluate the situation if you wish. At the same time, usually adverse conditions may take some time to settle. A cool off period will help waiting some time for conditions to hopefully change. Stop trading at max loss. When this is true and a max loss event occurs, GridX will stop all trading and shut down itself. It will require manual intervention before resuming. Max basket duration defines how long a basket is allowed to remain open. Grid strategies are more effective with mean reversion instruments and conditions, and usually these mean reversions happen in a relatively short time. The longest the wait, the more likely the reversion will not happen. In a grid strategy, this translates in baskets staying open for a long time with possible large drawdowns and added swap fees. The max basket duration helps limiting such occurrences, setting a maximum duration for the basket in hours since the first trade in the basket. When reaching this maximum time, all the orders in the basket will be closed, whether they are in profit or loss. This may realize a loss, but will help resolving floating drawdowns and moving from a stagnant position and onto the next basket. DCA. Max orders will set a limit to how many orders can be added to a basket. For example, if set to 5, the basket will not open further orders after having 5 already in it. Useful to limit excessive margin requirements. Close oldest order. After n orders is perhaps one of the smartest setting available. Once a basket reaches the specified size, GridX will close the oldest position in that basket before continuing, which reduces exposure while keeping the basket alive. It is a very useful setting because closing the oldest order in a basket will realize a loss, but it is usually the smallest loss, especially when using DCA multiplier. While the basket is still alive, closing the oldest order will also bring the average entry price of the basket closer to the market price, so that the basket needs a smaller retracement to hit the take profit. Rebuy interval hours enables time-based DCA. As mentioned before, usually grids perform well in mean reversion conditions and close in relatively short time frames. When a grid gets stuck in a range not hitting max loss or take profit, This setting helps adding a further order to bring the average entry price closer to the market price. This setting needs to be used with caution because it will increase margin requirement and exposure. Last one is close basket. Outside the range ties risk to your grid boundaries. You may have seen in the grid settings, you can set price boundaries for your grid to focus trading within these boundaries. With this setting, if price leaves your long or short range, the corresponding basket is closed. This prevents baskets from drifting outside your defined trading zone. There is no right or wrong settings. It is a matter of finding what works for your risk tolerance, account size, instruments you want to trade, and individual situation.